It's Louay Safi from the Syrian National Coalition. Always good to see you. Boy, a couple of tough questions here. Help me with this. The UN Secretary General says there is little hope for political dialogue in this report. Does that mean that there is really no end in sight for this conflict in Syria?
There is an end in sight, and that is when Bashar Assad steps down. The problem is that we just heard from his vice president, Farouk Shara. He said that the president wants to start dialogue after he completes his military operations. So he wants to silence the opposition and then start dialogue with them.
Let me read you a little bit more from this UN report. There are foreign fighters, some with links to extremist groups, operating in Syria. Let's see if we can check a box here. Do you acknowledge that?
We acknowledge that there are some elements of foreign fighters inside the country. This is a very fringe group, very small group.
Yeah. Do you acknowledge this other line from the report that says anti-government forces who started out fighting for freedom inside the country are in the process of becoming radicalized?
Still, I mean, definitely in every society, in every place, you have radical elements. The question is, how large are they? And in Syria, I can tell you, these are very small group, very fringe group.
Maybe small, but do you see them as having the potential to complicate efforts by the West to fully embrace and support the Syrian National Coalition with money and weapons?
In fact, for the coalition to be able to do anything, it has to be supported first. Yes. You can't ask anyone to do something and then you disarm them and let them weak. So I think the whole approach is mistaken, is wrong. Support the coalition, support the mainstream forces, and then any raw group can be dealt with. At this point, we have not seen any group that have been trying to challenge the main forces. But again, I mean, there are concerns, and we are, we want to deal with those concerns.
How disappointing is it to see this conflict, which started as a freedom movement, to be headed down this path, and it's a very serious path, of sectarian civil war?
I really disagree with that.
You do?
I disagree. Because if if the revolutionaries were sectarian, the easiest targets for them is to attack villages in Latakia and in the mountains where there are large Alawite communities.
Yeah.
But these have not been targets, even though the regime has been targeting mainly Sunni populations. So in other words, there's one sectarian war from one side. It's one-sided. It's from the regime, but the opposition is very much avoiding that, doesn't want to engage in sectarian war.
So you disagree with the findings of this report from the United Nations suggesting that all aspects of the Syrian society, all sects within Syria are fighting right now?
Absolutely, and they have admitted that they have not been allowed inside Syria. So all their reporting is anecdotal, is about information they receive from the outside. They have not been able to enter into Syria because the Assad regime refused to allow them to get in.
Louay Safi is with us. It is always good to see you. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Yeah, good to see you.